Let's break the mold, start believing, and stop waiting for the other shoe to drop. Welcome to Wild on 7, presented by Pilot Games. We're here until it's here.
And welcome back. This is Wild on 7th, your favorite Wild podcast, presented by Pilot Games. John, it's Valentine's Day. You're wearing red. You look terrific.
Thank you.
Usually it's filled with a lot of love. How are you feeling about your local hockey club right now? Coming out of the break, losing the first 3 games, finding a way to win one in good fashion against the Devils, and then a shootout loss here against Florida on Monday night. But how are you feeling? Are you feeling full of love with this club?
You know, we're in this time of the year where I feel like in the movies where you're hanging on to the ledge of the, outside the window.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's our entire existence.
Right.
I actually got up off the chair yesterday after we didn't win the shootout, and I said to my wife, it seems odd that point for the shootout's the same point we got for a hard played hockey game prior to that. And I'm like,
we're winning the shootout.
Who am I right now? Right? Like, am I like, I sound like a person from the 1960s or something, but I want some breathing room. I want to be able to enjoy it more, because I just feel like that we've been treading water the whole season. Like when that puck went in off Hartman's chest, it was like the greatest thing. Like seeing Dumba smile and like they're all hugging each other, and Goudreau wins it in the shootout against Jersey. It was like just a bubble burst, because it's like we're holding our breath. It's hard to hold your breath an entire season, and that's what this season's felt like.
Yeah, I agree. And, I was getting ready for the broadcast. We get a chance to talk to the coaching staff and Dean, and one of the questions I asked was like, does it feel like the team needs like another spark, like another moment? And he, without question, said, yeah, like it needs something. And what that is, he didn't know, but he's trying to manufacture something to the best of his abilities. And I think even Marcus Foligno said, like, yeah, we're looking for a spark. And then he went back to, it was Goligoski on his 1,000th game, and then they rode that wave for a while, and they need something else right now. If I'm analyzing the games coming out of the break, it's that the team, the Arizona game, they felt a lot of pressure. Losing that one, they didn't want to lose it, and that
tough loss.
Yeah, that bled into the Dallas game, which then bled into the following game, and then all of a sudden they find themselves losing 3, and they're trying too hard. To me, it legitimately looked like a team that's trying too hard. So at times, I think you have the right group that wants to win, and they want to play the right way, and they believe in the coach, and they're listening. So they almost fell into their own trap where it's okay, let's sit back and be defensive. And then they were on the D side of every puck, and now they're struggling to score goals, but because they're sitting back. And then all of a sudden the next game is, all right, we're going to chase that, we're going to fix that, we're going to open it up. And then they go and they open it up, and against Vegas, they're giving up too many odd man rushes the other way, because they're like, we're going to try to fix this scoring thing and be good. And they just got themselves behind the 8 ball, trying a little bit too hard. But I think you're right that's what it's felt like. And they're always having to solve a problem in the game in that moment. It hasn't been like, at some point that their grip is getting tired on there. Either you pull yourself up or you slip.
It's hard to hold a 25-pound weight and tread water, And it's funny, our guest today, Jonny the Vibe Merrill, I think an all-time guest. I'm willing to go that far in terms of how hilarious this man is. But I think actually, to go back to your question, I think the Wild need more vibe.
Yeah.
They need him to play. What's the Bob Marley song? Is it Three Little Birds? Is that what the song's called? But they need this attitude when you listen to this interview of one of our blue liners here. And apparently Kalen Addison is on the exact same wavelength as him, which I had no idea. It's like I just want us to relax and enjoy it. It's funny. So Gophers across the river, the college team, are on a heater. They're a top-ranked team, and they've won a ton of games. And someone was talking about the audience at Mariucci this year. They said there's no nerves with this team because they've all these studs came back and they're kind of a wagon, and you can feel it in the building.
Mm-hmm.
So when they go down or they're not even playing well on a given night, they kind of know that they have more skill than the other guys and they're going to win. And so the whole fan base is just relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the X is still, myself included. I was telling the guys here, I watch on streaming on Bally's. Thank you, Bally's. But they're pounding these Bayer aspirin commercials, which tell you that you're 50% more likely to have a heart attack watching the home team play. And they're just showing guys having grabbers I'm watching my home team and seeing ads about having heart attacks watching the home team. That's not helping what we're trying to work through here on Wild on 7th. But yeah, I want a little vibe. I want a little reggae. I just want to relax. I want to know. I want someone to tuck me in and go, Kinger, there's 29 games left. They're going to make the playoffs. There's a glass of warm milk by your nightstand and just enjoy the rest of the season. Wouldn't that be nice? But you just never know.
It would, yeah. But that's where it comes down. It comes down to like belief. Like I suppose you have to believe in the club to be able to just relax like that.
Yeah, we're making the playoffs. Yeah, it's fine. But
yeah,
then you play Colorado, and it's a 4-point swing.
I think you're right in that the club probably needs a little bit more vibe. So they need to get that swagger back, where it's like we're okay. Like everything's gonna be fine. I think they're all playing a little bit tighter right now, and the lack of scoring has really made that worse and emphasized it a little bit. But yeah, a little bit more vibe would go a long way. But I do have to give. I think the crowds the last couple games have been terrific. Like the
Jersey crowd, it sounded like the roof was going to blow off.
It was going crazy. And then Florida last couple minutes.
They were waiting to do the same thing.
It was great.
Yeah, that's good.
So the crowds are there. Let's go to the Devils game because I thought that was a pretty good game, and it looked like they had found their swagger again. And it was close. OT was entertaining. You get to the shootout. What did you think of that game?
I thought it was great. There's so many people wanting it, and I've been really rooting for Hartman. He was hurt for a long time, and he's been moved around on all these different lines. And I personally like him back with the top group. We had an injury last night, so he moved around again. But I just seeing him, he doesn't want to get penalties, and he keeps getting them every once in a while, and he's just like devastated. It's like watching you like told your son, like, hey, whatever you do, don't swear today at school. And then you see him like swear, and he's looking at you like, ah. But when he got that goal off the chest, I just thought that was spectacular. And then the shootout is the shootout. And so I love that game. I actually thought the Florida game was, the first period we were kind of hanging on. They had about 20 shots. It was a little scary. We got to say Gus the Bus. I mean, this goaltender, he might be on the same wavelength as Merrill, to be honest. I don't know.
We got to get him on the podcast.
I don't even know.
This guy's like a mythical creature.
I don't even
Tell
think
me one thing you know about this guy.
I don't think we should talk to him. I don't think we should. No one should talk to this guy right now. But
so you're going straight goalie mode.
I didn't even know what he looked like. I told you this like a couple weeks ago. I saw a picture of him. But yeah, he's a mystery man. He's snuffleupagus, but I think he's soothing as a coach. Like, I think you just are like, oh, he's just so calm in net. And I mean, I think what we're saying, that's all kind of connected. It's a little bit stressful.
I was talking to a goalie buddy, and he was watching one of the games, and he says that the Wild need to ride Gus. And I said, why? He said, well, whenever a puck hits you and you don't look behind you, you know you're feeling it. He just knows it's in his gear. He knows that he's set and ready. And to your point of being calm and quiet, that's it. Like, you're not panicking, looking behind you. And when you're on, he's like, when you're on, you just know and you just feel it. And I can see watching this dude, he's feeling it right now. Like, not looking behind him, no rebounds, swallowing things up. The one did get through him in the Florida game, little squeaker, but the goaltender interference negated it. But he's playing he's playing great hockey.
Yeah, he's
flying under the radar doing it.
Yeah, he's been great. And I talk about pucks, man. He had pucks last night against Florida that he was like kicking them off of his leg pad, and they were going back into his stomach and catching the edge of a pad. I mean, he was like Velcro.
He had one last night that stood out to me. It was a 3-on-2, and I think it was maybe Reinhardt. It would be on Gustafson's glove side, throws one across to that far post, and Gustafson's 5-hole is open, but he's able to like get his pad down and squeeze it underneath the pad to the ice and stop it from going in. Any rebound there likely was in the back of the net too. No rebound, just swallowed it up. Dangerous play. The goaltender was moving. I think those are the kinds of plays you look at it and you say, yeah, you gotta ride this guy. He's playing good, but
he had one in the shootout too, where same thing, opened up his 5-hole, but he just kept his stick on the ice. I don't know if you saw it in slow mo. It was like just pinpoint placement to keep the stick there in between his legs, which no goalie ever does, and stopped at 5-hole as well. Yeah, he seems to be. I think it's in slow motion for him.
Do you think so? Watching back to your point on Hartman, and you like him with those guys. Do you think that it looks a little bit different? Like they're playing with a little bit more pace and a little bit more intention. Like it looks like they kind of want to be together.
I completely agree. I think Hartsy's just. You got the two brothers, Zuki and Kirill, right? They're their own thing. But Hartsy's like the cool guy with you. I don't know, man. To me, like, why are we overthinking this? Give the guy some time. It'll be good again.
Well, and
it's not a 1-game audition either. Like if they play there
year.
for give them 10 games. Let's see if it's like last year. Because if it is, that solves one problem.
Well, and I think the goaltending or the goal scoring thing. You have peaks and valleys, and I felt like it was getting close to the bottom of the valley. I think it was the Dallas game where he scores one in the fashion that he should,
and they take
going
it away.
to the net, and they took it away.
I'm like, you got to be kidding me!
But that's
no challenge. I wanted a challenge just because I'm like,
I think I said that on the broadcast.
This has to go in.
That's what I said on the broadcast. Like, what do you have to lose? Like, you've been scoring a goal a game. Like, challenge it. And thankfully they didn't. I think it probably wouldn't have gone the other way. But I think if you're a player sometimes, though, you can just reset in that moment and say, all right, that's the bottom. Now things are going to start to go my way. And then they come out in the Jersey game, boom, and he gets one off the chest and it goes in.
And he's getting pucks to net.
Yes, thank you.
He's getting the puck to the net, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. I listened on the radio yesterday because I was driving. And, man, you can learn a lot from listening to a game on the radio because it's just whose name do you hear?
Mm-hmm.
I know that you're doing the same thing on TV, but a lot of times you're more distracted, right? You're watching the game, but when it's just on the radio, if you listen to a whole game and you don't hear a guy's name, and they skated a regular shift, I mean, it tells you a lot. They weren't involved, and Hartman's definitely getting more involved. I wanted to ask you about the penalties because it's been. I got a couple questions and theories, right? So. It seems like our bench seems like we're always super pissed off, and maybe that's why we're not getting the benefit of the doubt because we run hot, right? We got a hot bench, and nobody's everybody's angry, and the penalties keep coming. But at the same time, there's another side of me when I watch some of these games when we were losing, and I think, man, where's the pushback? I want the 7th Street Savages. I want that Philadelphia game. The Philly game that Garen referenced when he was here. I want us unchained.
Mm-hmm.
Get off the chain. Let's play. Let's see what that looks like. So, but we're getting these they're like ticky tack. It's slashes and. It's not like we're murdering someone or getting suspended.
Well, and that's the gray area that I think you're wondering about. If you go back in time and you look at the teams that are the most penalized in minutes, and then even I think if you took off the majors, so the fights, they would still have the most minors. And I'm talking about like Anaheim back in the day when they were tough. And we've talked about this on the podcast before. Most penalized team. And then they would take the most minors too. There's something about it in a referee's mind that when one team is tough and they are physical, that they will get a lot of penalties. And I think that the Wild are willing to live with some of those physical penalties. What is starting to bite them are the stick penalties.
Yeah, a lot of stick penalties.
But then that's where it's the catch-22 because I think the coaches are preaching, have a good stick. And what does that mean? That means like having your stick on the puck, leading with it, going in first. And what ends up happening is that somebody steps on it and then boom, it's a trip. And you're like, oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden you say, like Ryan Hartman, all right, I'm not going stick on puck because if this guy steps on it, I'm not going to the box again. Now all of a sudden that guy's got a clearer path to make his play. And the margin of error in the NHL is actually that tight. I have the ability to make a good stick play here. I make it. And we're good. I miss it. He steps on it. I'm in the penalty box. I don't make the play because I'm afraid of that. They score. Like that's the margin of error, is making the decision right in that spot. The Wild are on the wrong side of it right now. And I think that they can fix it if the attitude on the bench isn't angry, if it isn't negative, if it isn't like poor me. And I'm not saying that they have like a poor me attitude, but you almost have to just ignore the penalty. Like whatever happened out there, just be like, it's done. And then move on to how you're going to kill it and then go on.
Otherwise, it becomes negative energy, right?
Right. And then I think the referees feel that, and then it slightly compounds. And now we're talking like referee coach relationship, team relationship theory. This isn't like X's and O's, black and white. This is like theory. And then you place your bet over time. If I behave this way, I'll get less penalties in the long run. But I do think that there is 100% a correlation between tougher teams, more penalties. And then it's hard to blame a team right now that wants to have good sticks and defend well with taking stick penalties. The hooks and stuff you just can't have. Some of the slashes I think you can avoid, keep your stick on the ice, but some of those trips you just have to eat because like Hartman's had a few of those where he's just trying to make a play on the puck with a good stick and it hits somebody's feet and you're just like,
and the guy starts turning,
yeah,
and he goes
and you're
down,
like,
and he's like dropping his stick,
yeah,
like he almost
like,
drops his
like
gloves.
you're like, I'm in a tough spot, let it go, like I didn't do anything that's on a penalty, but 100% that's where the Wild are right now. But
and you can't play in that gray area either.
Right.
You think
Like
of
the
how
in-between.
Hartsey wants to play is like on the edge. And if he's, dropping his stick, like it wasn't me, check change new dealer, like that's not good either.
Well, that's where these moments that you're talking about can totally change everything. So like we went from Dapper Dean to Angry Dean, like hair's looking good. He's looking sharp too.
Yeah.
We got Mean Dean back on the bench.
He's
So
pounding people.
OT or shootout winner. The best is you'll have to see the video of it. Darby Hendrickson actually goes into like a full defense mode. Like he's got the block up. He knows it's coming.
Yeah, he's got broken ribs right now.
But Dean was legitimately jacked up.
Yeah.
And you start to have those moments again. You start to get rid of some of those stressful moments that they've been having.
So I did the moments list. I was right. We got the Goose game winner, coming out of the press box, thousands game, the whole story. We have that Philly game with the 3-4 fights. Zuki wins it on the goal in overtime. I call it the Reeves game against Detroit. I had a big night that night. That was a pretty good night. And then I like the Spurgeon diving poke check.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Hartsey off the body from so we're starting to, that's a half a dozen moments.
Yeah. And that one I think is Hartsey off the body, but also Freddie Gaudreau shootout winner. Like that was pretty sweet too. I was watching that, and he skates all the way to the wall, and he's like stick handling the puck so fast. I was like, why are you doing that? Like if that puck bounces a little bit, like shootout attempt gone. Like these, and it felt like the biggest moment of the year. That shootout.
I could hear it from my house in White Bear Lake. I could hear it. Have you noticed there's a lot more flair on the shootout now? Like guys legit think about what they do with the stick after they score. There's a lot of like
I saw the one guy tuck it yesterday. Yeah.
And even Zuccarello's been doing some like his goal last night was wild. He did that twitch.
So did you? Yeah.
And then he did the 5-hole slide, like he's pulling the tablecloth off the table. It was dirty. And then he always his big thing is he turns towards the bench and he's like, yes, I'm your leader. Like, yes, we got the first one. I mean, it's all confidence with Zook.
So that move.
That is dirty.
Yeah. And I don't know if he was going 5-hole. And I think, so we'll have to get the video of it, but the video goes to him, the broadcast does, on the bench. And somebody on the bench is asking him, did you try to go 5-hole?
And what does he say?
He's got like a swaggy look on his face where it's like, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. But I don't know if he did. I'm not sold. He sells it in that moment. We'll get the video on here. He sells it in that moment. But I was surprised. So the angle that
believe it got through.
The angle that I saw the first time, it was like no chance that's going in unless he gets it up. And I thought he was just going to bury it into the pad, but somehow he found the 5-hole, and he maybe was looking for that, knowing like if you get the goalie on a stomach pads there's nothing in contact with the ice that can slide him through.
We'll have to ask him.
It's legitimate that he tried that. Originally, I was like, no chance, and then he went back to the bench and sold me with his facial expressions. But
he also does a little holster kind of thing. He's got that big stick. But,
but Freddie Gaudreau's stick handling too fast made me nervous. But then he buries it with like a snapper, and then game over, like huge celebration, relief. Dapper Dean turns into Mean Dean, crushes Darby Hendrickson. But then now let's go to the Florida shootout. He goes away from it. He's same exact move, same exact route. I was like, just snap it again. Who cares? Like, if you think you can score there, he tried to go backhand. So if you didn't see the shootout moves, he's a righty and he comes from the right side. Quick shot, scores in the Jersey game that wins it. The next game, he makes the exact same route and tries to bring it to his backhand. And I think it was an easy save for Bobrovsky. But yeah, shootout moves, guys. And they're all getting the hands going a little bit more. Like they have to sneak in a fancy stick handle or two for sure.
Yeah, the one guy on the Panthers last night had like 75 stick handles and then scored.
Right.
I mean, it was.
And then
the goalies were so good yesterday.
They were good.
And Bob certainly has watched some tape on Kirill on the shootout because he was like he put his hand there.
Russian.
Yeah, and then he was like, whatever his body was going to do until then, he knew this was the end of the journey, and the puck went right in there, and you could see Kirill just like, they know each other a little.
So last night, I think I had this thought, and this is in the Florida game. I was a little bit nervous, but you wanted to see this, but it's a critical time of year. This could have been a moment. There was a chance for one of your bold predictions to come to fruition last night.
I thought he was
going to. That's 97 fighting. The one-on-one battle.
That's not a guy to fight, though. That dude's too big.
The one-on-one battle with Ekblad was fun to watch. Those two guys go at it in the third period. You've got the big dog on Florida against Kirill, and Kirill wasn't backing down. He went right after him, and I thought that was the chance that maybe he's going to drop the gloves and
coming.
And you're going to get but you don't at the same time.
I don't want anything to happen to the Russian baby
or his hands.
No, but you know what? I will say I have a question for you as an analyst. So, I've noticed Kirill getting knocked down more in the last 2 weeks. Okay, so if I pretty much ISO cam him, as you know, the whole season, and he really wasn't getting knocked off his skates at all until the last couple weeks. And I wonder if it's, things are heating up. It's really getting dicey. 2/3 of the teams have a chance to make the playoffs, so everybody's fighting every single night. I mean, he's getting really pounded by teams. He's getting keyed on. He's getting hit a lot. I was actually a little disappointed in the game last night. They really took liberties with him. And you saw the exchange where Reeves was on the bench and they went to a close-up and he said to Tkachuk, he goes, if you want to fight, I'll fight you. And then it looked like Tkachuk had an amazing line back to him because Reeves kind of paused. Like, it was like, I think he probably said something like, well, I'm out there every other shift, you know where to find me. Or I don't know what he said to him, but I did think in that situation, when you have that element, and I know it's a close game, but it's like, just go beat the guy up.
Well, that's where
just go. You know what? You don't get to do that. Now we're going to beat you up.
Well, so
I would like to see that.
That's the advantage to having a huge cushion in the standings,
which we don't.
Is that guy can execute that role? He can go out and do that.
Now you
can't go take a 5-minute major instigator against their top team, and then sit in a box and lose the 2 points. The 2 points are that valuable. But those are the moments that 113-point team last year they were able to do. This year it's a little bit harder in some ways. Reeves, I think, is a little bit handcuffed in that spot.
And I'm not putting it on him. I'm saying,
and Tkachuk knows that.
Yeah, and Tkachuk's quick. I mean, you could see that little barb was.
But that's always the chirp.
Yeah, right.
Every tough guy,
you know where to find me. Top line,
every
top
tough
minutes.
Yes,
that's I'm out here all night.
So that's not profound.
Yeah,
but at some times it hurts more than others, and that maybe was a time when that one.
Yeah, I just don't think 97 is carrying a load for us.
Well, so what he's doing right now, in my opinion, is playing playoff hockey. And everybody always says, like, hockey's so much better in the playoffs. Like, everybody flips a switch. Kirill has already flipped this switch.
100%. And for that reason, when somebody's really taking liberties like Ekblad last night, that dude needs to get smoked. I'm sorry. I don't care when it happens, but he needs to get smoked.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I love 97 as much as anybody else, but I don't know if Ekblad was taking liberties. I don't know if we can go that far.
Well, he was. I mean,
He was
Kirill doesn't
he was
ever do
targeting.
anything.
He knew that all things are running through 97. At least it seemed that way last night. So he was going to make sure that 97 didn't win that game for him. And he did his best. And there was a couple one-on-ones that were great. You know, Kirill was trying some fancy moves, and Ekblad was playing
Those are
physical.
top players going head.
And that's what you want. Like, that was exciting. That was fun to see. But no chance is Ekblad going to drop the gloves. And that's what you would maybe with Kirill, but not with like Reeves or something. But Kirill's handling the puck a lot more now. He's getting, as much as he doesn't avoid the dirty areas, which say whatever you will about that cliche, he's getting greasier. Like, he's engaging in the battle, winning, and he's starting to score in tighter spaces. I think a perfect goal is the Florida goal. Look at how he has to take like a half a step back to score that, to be able to get past the stick of Gudis, to be able to put it upstairs. Like, he's using every single inch out there right now. It's amazing, but the battle level's through the roof. It's just a matter of, can he sustain that for 25 games?
I know you got 29 to the playoffs, and the team's it's really almost been playoff hockey all season.
Yeah.
And whether or not every player's played that way, you know, that's hard to do, but it's been exhausting, you know, and I think to have a little wiggle room to breathe, to get the reggae going like Johnny the Vibe, or to have Reeves be able to just run around, because that's what you paid for. You know, you wanted to add this element to your team, but in a 1-goal game against a team that's fighting for a playoff spot with you, you know, and every team we're playing at home basically is this homestand, you are handcuffed. You know, you're kind of you are holding your breath while running. And it's tough, but I think I was trying to think about what a successful homestand would be, right? So it's 7 games, and I was trying to think. It felt like 9 points, 8, 9, 10 points would be great. We dropped the first 2, so you're automatically in this. You know, we just picked up 3 points in the last 2, so you know this Colorado game is big. This Dallas game is big. I was pleased to see Calgary lost last night to Ottawa, which was good, but and Nashville as well. I think now you're really watching the scoreboard now.
I think you are watching the scoreboard, but I also think you shouldn't fall into that trap.
I'm saying as a fan.
Yeah. One thing I don't like is when you say, like, okay, playoff teams are going to get to 96 points this year. And then you do the math and say, all right, well, you're at, 60. So you need 36 more points over the next 26 games. And so you have to go, 18-8 or whatever it is. And I don't like doing that, because every team battles, like, it changes over time, like the pressure. It's just win your games is quite simply it. And what would be a successful homestand? Yeah. It's somewhere 5-2, 10 points would be good, I think. But yeah, that's forecasting a little bit in the future and what they might need, but they just need that for themselves too. But I think before we get into the vibe, in order to have the vibe, sometimes what you need is some solid nutrition. Do you know where we could get some good nutrition?
Yeah, what I would do is get some chunky blue cheese dressing from Jimmy's. There was a Grandpa Jimmy carts back in the day, and he was like a mad scientist type. He probably would have enjoyed spending time with Jonny Merrill, but he was a mad scientist, and he made up all the recipes. They're now in their 3rd generation. The 2 young guys that run Jimmy's are like the property brothers of dressings and dips. These young bucks, you'll probably see them at a Wild game here. And they're pushing the chunky blue cheese because it's perfect for, we just had the Super Bowl. We're gearing up for the playoffs. Maybe mix it with some French, get a little Midwestern on it. Made from the finest products, family-run company, Minnesota company, Jimmy's Dressings and Dips. Don't you be messing with my dressing. What about you? Are you thirsty for the playoffs?
I'm thirsty for the playoffs. I'm thirsty for a good vibe, but I don't think you can have a good vibe without a little bit of electricity. And I ran into that problem at home. One of my switches burnt out, so the exterior lights weren't working. and you can't turn those on. That sends a message to everybody that you can come into my house and take a couple points out. And
That's not good.
I don't think we're cool with that. So I had to resolve that problem instantly. And I use my friends at Aquarius Home Services. You guys all know that I'm a big time clean water guy, and I love my Kinetico system K5 right there at the tap. But every once in a while, my critical home systems need a pro. And when they need those pros, I call Aquarius Home Services. They've got electricians, they've got plumbers, HVAC guys, whatever you need, they've got you taken care of. So the exterior lights went out, we got it rectified. The electrician comes over, they fix it up, and everybody knows it's going to be hard to sneak up on the Carter house and take 2 points out. Aquarius Home Services, check these guys out.
So we're going to get into our guest, and this is a guy we've wanted on really all season for a lot of reasons. Here comes Jonny the Vibe Merrill, and boy, did he live up to his name today.
Jonny Merrill, buddy, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us today.
I'm doing really well. I appreciate you guys having me.
What do you think about that acronym? He's a good dude, but it's DOOD, Dad of Only Daughters. It's a select club. I happen to be in it.
I'm going to let it soak in for a little while before I make my proper judgment, but I love the word dude, and I appreciate you calling me one.
How many? You got like 9 daughters, or what's going on with you?
4 right now, yeah, but we're getting close.
You gonna have some more?
No, unfortunately, I'm done. Got the
You got the
You got tied up?
procedure, exactly.
All right. Does your agent know that? Is that all factoring into your next contract? They had the procedure.
No, it's not factored in, but I keep that to myself usually, but I guess now it's out there.
No one's listening. You're fine. You're fine. So that's great. 4 daughters.
4 daughters.
So then, man,
Wait, how old's the oldest?
She's 7.
So you've got 4 under 7.
Yes.
Zoo.
Yeah, we had 4 under 6. Yeah.
that's how it works.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Like, I can't imagine what the house is like. What kind of car you have to drive? Because you can't just be driving like a normal SUV with 4 kids. Like, you got to have that third row, maybe a step through. Like, what's the
Vacuum
vehicle?
cleaner.
We got the vacuum cleaner. Just the floor is nothing but goldfish and
Gummy bears.
Gummy bears. It's disgusting. Like,
It's like
before anyone gets in the car, we have to premise like
Yeah.
we're so sorry.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know-
You sit in the front. You keep one seat clean. It's like
don't
the front
even look in the
passenger.
back. Don't even look back there.
I think you should
You
embrace
should turn it into a limo so like you can put the window up.
That's what we should do. Yeah. Or like
Salted
Trailer
in the
Park Boys,
show.
just like come in with a hockey stick and just like get it all out there before someone comes in.
Oh, that's great.
You ever see that Honda commercial where they advertise that the car has a vacuum? That's legit.
Yeah, I've
That is
seen those.
legit.
It's
The
in
minivan though.
It's a minivan.
It's a Shark. It's one of those little vacuums, the little dustbuster.
Yeah.
So let's bring it back to little Johnny. Michigan, growing up, what's it like playing hockey in Michigan? Like, what's the path to the NHL? It's like AAA hockey. I'm curious. What's it
Little
like?
Yeah.
Caesars.
Yeah, I played for Caesars most of my youth hockey career, but definitely it becomes, I don't know, everyone's a little bit different at a certain age, 8, 10, 12 years old, where it kind of like, if you want to be serious about this, you kind of got to get on a AAA team to be seen by some, junior scouts or whatever it is, the OHL, whichever route you want to go. And it becomes pretty political and intense at an early age in Michigan for sure. So I bounced around. I played a year Bell Tire, a year Honey Baked, and then settled on like a pretty good coach and a group of guys with Caesars and ran with them from 10 to 16.
And then 16 years old, that's when it's like, okay, time to play junior.
I went to the US
Program?
NTDP, yeah.
And then is that kind of the path? Like, if Michigan kid growing up, like you want to play at the program, at the national program.
Yeah, it had kind of been done by a lot of Michigan guys before me, and then that's kind of the route, like go to the NTDP and then go to Michigan or State or Western or one of the schools that you have in Michigan there.
Nice. So what player did you idolize growing up? Was it Mike McDonald coming out of Michigan, just flowing hair? Because I see you got a little flow back there,
Yeah, and of course, with hair legends right here, but
Thank
it's an honor to be seated next to the all-time flow champion.
Well, that's very nice of you.
But
You're talking about Carter, right?
yeah, he's trying for sure.
Yeah, it's just like when I played, all I can ensure is effort.
Yeah.
Who did you play with? Like, who was your group when you were rolling in the mitten? What was your pack of guys you were skating with?
I'm a 92 birth year, but I played with 91.
Yep.
My Caesars team, we didn't, nobody turned into NHLers other than myself, but AJ Trias was a guy who played at Michigan with me. Shane Birschbach went to Western Michigan. Matt Stewart, also Western Michigan. So we had some D1 college guys. And then in our sort of Detroit area at that age group too, you got Cam Fowler, Torrey Krug.
Yep. And then how about development team? Who was in your era on the?
My 92 development team, we had Jason Zucker, Brandon Sod, Derek Forbert, Justin Falk, who else? Matt Nieto. I'm probably leaving out a few here, but we had a pretty good group.
And are you all Michigan? Like, are you dialed in on the Wolverines right now? Fantilli, you're watching it. Are you big into Michigan?
I support them every time a game is on, but as I mentioned, we have 4 little girls who kind of run my world. So there's not a lot of sports on TV.
A lot of bubble guppies.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of coloring
Yeah.
and really more important things in Michigan athletics.
But you didn't wear red on Valentine's Day. You have 5 women in your house.
Yeah.
I'm an empty nester, and I put on the red for Valentine's Day. What's going on here?
I don't know. I think I'm trying to set the bar really low. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that if you go too high, then it's just you got to meet that expectation year after year. So if you just keep the bar really low, there's really no expectation for yourself.
I think that's a good plan.
Yeah.
Just another disappointment.
Yeah.
You have 4 ladies though. Valentine's Day becomes about the kids. It's the little candy hearts and making sure the kids are stoked. And,
Yeah.
Phrases and
yeah.
spaghetti for dinner because that's red, that
Right.
kind of stuff. Yeah, I remember. Chocolate.
So big fan of lizards. How many lizards do you have?
We just have the one, and I wouldn't say huge fan. It kind of just they are a great pet, great animal, very low maintenance, but kind of just a COVID thing. We were bored and living in Vegas, and they got the wild ones that live there, and we caught one in the backyard. Tried to keep it as a pet, and was not doing well in captivity, and so we had to release it, and the girls were kind of bummed out. So we did some research and found out that bearded dragons were pretty low maintenance and easy to take care of. So we grabbed one of those, and it was probably no bigger than that when we got it, and now, huge, like big.
What's its name?
RuPaul.
RuPaul. Nice drag race.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
The bearded dragon. So, what is the maintenance for a bearded dragon? I'm picturing you with the tweezers pulling skin off this thing or something.
No, they get it off themselves, and like you'll see it peeling, and then you'll come back 2 days later, and it's all gone. I think they eat it.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, it's kind of gnarly, but
My dog does that sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah, so does mine, especially in the winter.
yeah.
It's an unfortunate moment.
But what do they eat besides their skin?
Veggies, a lot of like cucumbers, lettuces, and then crickets and mealworms if you want to spice it up for them.
Yeah. You want to go top notch. If it's
Yeah.
the NHL, they get a lot of crickets and mealworms.
Yeah.
The Never Hungry League there for RuPaul.
During in the off season, strictly vegetables. During the season when we're getting paid, we bump it up to mealworms and crickets for sure.
Yeah.
Who's picking up the mealworms? Is that like you leave it on a little notepad when you head out the door to Tria? You're like, hey, honey, don't forget to grab mealworms.
No, like everyone was so all in on the bearded dragon when we got it, of course, and now like no one even looks at it but me. Like, I come home after games and like watch TV with the bearded dragon on my chest. I'm the only one who gives it love.
He's eating the goldfish in the back of the car. That's all he has. Just put him in there for an hour.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to do rapid fire.
Let's do rapid fire.
This is just to get you loose. I think you're pretty much loose your whole life, so you don't even need this, but these are real quick answers. We've had a couple goaltenders do this, and it takes like 9 minutes to get through it. So like, just go with your gut.
But no pressure. You
Go
can
with your
pass.
gut. Okay.
Gotcha.
Nickname.
Johnny.
Weirdest thing in your overnight bag.
Artwork from my girls.
What do you listen to in the car?
Reggae.
It's your birthday. Where are you going to dinner?
Outback Steakhouse.
Green light in any NHL city.
Vancouver.
Hockey jersey you had as a kid.
Sergei Fedorov.
Pre-game meal.
Pasta chicken.
Go-to drink at the bar.
Coors Light.
Perfect weekend. What are you doing?
Sitting on the back porch, drinking a beer, chilling out.
Hidden talent.
Basketball.
Gift card from any store.
Best Buy.
Last thing you binged watched.
Weeds.
Buying clothes. Where do you go?
Costco.
Favorite holiday.
Christmas.
Who plays you in the movie?
Matt Damon.
Really strong. You got any to add?
Yeah, pet peeve.
Mean people.
Favorite daughter?
You have your own Netflix account, or
Like
you share them?
you have the one where you have like different.
Oh, yeah, have your log. Yeah.
Different
Your
things.
profile, but you're like you don't use your mom's Netflix or HBO account. You have your own.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we have one for mom and dad, the girls. Mom when dad's on the road, dad on the road.
Aside from the missus, who do you text the most?
My dad.
First concert,
Eddie Money.
Oh, cool.
favorite concert.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Nice. Johnny so there's some good answers in there that we're gonna have to unpack a little bit.
Reggae in the car.
Favorite restaurant? Outback? Is it the
Can't go wrong with the Blooming Onion.
Is it the Blooming Onion? That's what I was gonna say. Is it the Blooming Onion or the Blooming Onion sauce? Because they're both pretty darn good.
I might actually go there today.
I mean, there's no better way to start a meal than a Blooming Onion.
And then a nap.
Valentine's Day. Let's start off with the Blooming Onion.
I bet there's a lot of
Gets you out of the
people at
kiss later,
Outback
maybe.
on Valentine's Day.
You might need a reservation, to be honest.
Yeah, I would. See, I always thought of you more as an Oklahoma City guy myself. You know,
Yeah.
don't you consider yourself kind of an Okie?
I don't feel like I have many roots laid there, but it's
How long were you there? You're like born there, and then like you went off in a carriage or
yeah.
right to Michigan.
We by horseback. We made it all the way to Michigan. Yeah,
So it's like a Yellowstone prequel.
pretty much.
Oregon
we went
Trail.
the other way.
It's
We
like
went
the Oregon Trail.
The other way.
Yeah, we went the wrong way on the trail.
You saw them going by.
Yeah,
You're like, hey, Duttons.
no, gold's this way.
Hidden talent basketball.
Yeah,
Larry Bird. Because there's a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
striking resemblances between yourself and Larry Bird.
thank you very much. Yeah,
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Love basketball. Always have. Just like shooting in the driveway, and I was on a basketball team until grade 8 probably, and then same season as hockey, so it got a little conflicting. But yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite sports.
Did you do headband or knee pads when you played? It seems like you did.
No, I didn't. High socks though. High socks.
Okay, high side.
Like how high? Like calf or up to the knee? Like where? How high?
Like to the top of the calf muscle, not all the way to the knee. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I don't know. Maybe you call that half calf,
Yeah.
mid calf.
yeah,
half calf.
Yeah.
Wow.
it's different than decaf.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
So is that why you're good at box outs? Because Wes Wallace on the broadcast last night was talking about how great you are. It's a lost art, the box out in front of the net. But maybe that's because you have a basketball background.
Maybe so. You're always trying to get body position. Watching the shot come in. Where's it going to hit off the rim and stuff? You got to get
Elbows out.
Yeah.
What's your go-to shot in basketball?
I'm definitely. I mean, I can stretch the floor a little bit and shoot, but I'm, post play, obviously a beast on the boards. Just like a winner, like if I could compare my game to a NBA legend, it would be like Bill Russell or somebody like that.
So do you have a jump, like a jump curl?
What's that?
Like the jump, the curl? What's that?
I've got that. Both hands. I can finish around the rim with both hands. Yeah.
Bill Russell, that's the one you're going to compare yourself to. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Winner.
Winner.
I can't even proceed with this.
So I catch a lot of heat for this too. So like I don't really know that this is a thing, but like when you pull your wallet out, you maybe are supposed to have your coolest credit card on the top, and then on the other side of your wallet, like have your other coolest card.
I didn't know that.
So me either. So I have like an Amazon Prime credit card, and then the other side, it's my Costco card. And dudes are like, you gotta hide that Costco card.
No.
That's what I said.
That should be front and center.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you
Flash
believe.
that thing on
Yeah.
the way into the
That's
bar
what
and
you-
stuff. Like it's a big line.
This
You
is
just
my
come in,
ID.
flash it out. Big spender.
Where does Johnny buy his clothes? Kirkland. Like, what's the go-to brand? Kirkland.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
They got some designer stuff in there, just knocked off price wise. It's too easy to shop in there though. It's hard to get out of there under $200-300 though.
Yeah. There's something to it though in the air where you walk in for like eggs and milk, and you walk out with with a truck full
With
of
a-
stuff,
A new
right?
blender.
A jug of Bavarian pretzels.
heated socks, like batteries you'll never use, light bulbs, and then
Bought a jet ski, honey. Hey,
uh,
I got to ask you a Wikipedia question. We do all of our research on Wikipedia before players come in so that we're prepared. And in yours, in the 2013-14 season, Merrill made his NHL debut November 3rd, skating with the Devils in a game against the Minnesota Wild. at Xcel Energy Center. You're familiar with the space. But less than 5 minutes into the game, he fell into the boards, sustaining severe facial lacerations and a concussion. So St. Paul has always been near and dear to your heart.
Yeah, that was not the ideal way to start a career. And
now you're here.
the year before, we lost the national championship in double OT at the Xcel against Minnesota Duluth.
Oh my God. So you're just like, really?
Yeah, I had some bad memories at the Xcel.
Where was it in the boards? What area? Where did you run into it?
It would have been the first period, and I was the visiting team, so down in the corner on the same side as the penalty boxes.
So you were just shaking your fist in the air at St. Paul before you came here and called it home.
I really had very few good memories from that arena before I came here.
What was the cut? What was the laceration or the repair?
It was over my eye.
Yeah.
I think you were on the team.
Yeah.
You must remember that.
Yeah, no, I'm
Great
looking,
intro to the boys.
Yeah, John was he finished one spot ahead of me in the points that year. He had a few less games played and played on the back end, but no, that was a heck of a rookie season. Aside from maybe taking the L there at Xcel Energy Center, but
Yeah, that was a tough way to start, but I remember kind of coming to on the table and they're like stitching me up, and I'm like, no, I got to get back out there.
yeah.
Like, this can't be it.
This
can't
isn't
be
how it goes.
No way.
I'm in the NHL.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Wake me up, and then
Was it
hold on.
like what was the thought there? Like, wow, the NHL is tough. Like, what was your initial thought after that game? Like, bad break or?
Yeah, I'm like, what's wrong with my skates? Like,
Turn on the
So,
guy
yeah,
right away.
It can't be my fault.
My first NHL game was in the West Finals, and I go out for my first shift, and I think Todd Bertuzzi scores, and I remember going back to the bench being like, holy cow, this NHL thing is legit. These guys are good.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun. See you later, NHL. I thought that was it. Hello and goodbye. All
Thanks
in the
for
same
having me.
shift. Yeah.
Hey, who's this guy?
Right?
Was this when you ran into the boards? Because this picture would
So-
make sense.
There's a
You've had so many good haircuts and tried so many things. You're almost like Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean. If you just click on your hockey DB, there's so much joy. And then there's this guy. What would you tell him if you could ride in the minivan with the goldfish and the reggae right now? What do you say to this kid? He's like Dustin Brown. I don't
Chill
know.
out, man. Just relax.
dude, but if you go through everybody's
There's-
hockey DB, their
there's-
first
there's an
pictures,
era.
everybody's straight game face. Like you don't know what to
So
do.
you're hard. You're showing the league that you're here.
So we'll have to put this photo up, but the way it actually works is almost every media day you go to like the hospital or somewhere early on and you have like medical testing, then straight to the rink for physical testing. Then they say throw on a jersey and go get your headshot. He probably hasn't had a bite to eat in 14 hours at that moment. Blood has been drawn.
Yeah.
Like you're gas. You had the wind gate, the VO2.
Yeah.
And then they say, go take a picture. Like early on in your career, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't care about this picture. But then later on, you start to catch a bunch of heat about those pictures. You start smiling a little bit.
But so I would agree with you. But Johnny the Vibe, I mean, he is so happy. He's smiling. You know, we got the different hair. We got mustaches. We got mullet with no mustache. We got a dirty stash. We got a long hair.
Yeah, he went
clean.
back in time for that.
We got Tim Riggins for a couple years. We got this guy. This guy, I don't know what credit cards in his wallet. Then this is just a oversight.
This is great audio
I think
for the
you even
podcast
bleached
listeners.
your
though.
hair here. Maybe this is almost like mousse, a little.
Just kissed by the sun is all that
Kissed
is.
by the sun. I
So-
mean, you've had a hell of a run on headshots.
That is fun to go through the Hockey DB wormhole headshots. So all you listeners, when you get off of listening to the podcast, you go to Hockey DB John Merrill
And just
you click on the
it.
picture. You'll see all the pictures and be able to go through what John and John just went through there.
It's worth it.
But
Trust me.
when did the mustache become a staple?
I started rocking it in New Jersey a little bit, just trying it out.
After Lou, because you couldn't have facial
Right,
hair.
and that's what I was gonna say about that headshot
Oh,
too.
that's
It's like
right.
You can't have long hair.
I had long hair always as a kid, always wanted it, and then at Michigan, Red didn't like it, so I cut it, and then Lou didn't like it, so we always had to cut and shave, and it was a pretty intense environment, like a training camp with Lou.
Yeah,
Like there was not really fun.
No.
Allowed,
your antenna were always up.
Yeah, you were always kind of like he might see me smiling. I got to
Yeah.
make sure.
No reggae.
You're
Yeah,
never looking
no.
in the mirror. You're looking around, like who's like, where am I? Just am I in the right lane? Let's be in
Right.
the spot.
He's like, was there joy here recently?
So that definitely played a factor into maybe why that look was a little depressing.
Yeah.
Huge.
Well,
factor.
now you're free, man. You got a lizard on your chest watching games. daughters. You've probably lost a couple daughters today at
Yeah.
the mall somewhere. You're living free, man.
It's
That's
just
good.
clean living, exactly.
Dude, where do you get your hair cut? Because I find it almost impossible to get a decent mullet cut. Like everybody kind of looks at you and then they just go rogue in the middle of cutting my hair. And it's like, no, settle down. But where do you get a good one?
I found a gal here in Minneapolis. She got a booker a couple weeks out because she has a mullet herself and she kind of specializes in cutting mullets.
Really?
Yeah, she's a
So
mullet
You're
specialist.
gonna have to share that
She has
contact
stripes?
with me.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Hey, let's stick to podcasts.
Man, I'm not kidding you. It is hard to find somebody to cut a mullet.
Yes.
Yeah.
They don't want to cut hockey hair. They don't.
or they just like turn it into their own thing, and it's like you're like it's hard.
So
And
her
I'm-
mullet, does she have stripes or like what kind of mullet does she have?
Kind of like a Miley Cyrus type mullet.
Okay.
You know, she kind of went to the mullet a few years ago. I don't know if you follow Miley.
Yeah, I'm big into her new song now.
Yeah.
She can buy herself flowers, hold her own hand. She's totally fine on her own.
She,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what? You know
big-
what else
big
happens
fan.
to me in the hair cutting chair? Stop me if this is weird, but I all of a sudden go mute. Like if I see a stylist cutting my hair in a way that I don't like it, I'm like, I'm too Minnesotan to say like, stop, don't do that, or like cut it different. I just let it ride,
Yeah.
and then
No.
I pay and walk out disappointed.
No.
Like I can't say like
I'm the same exact way, and I also don't like send my food back if it's not cooked
Right.
the right way. To me, it's the same concept. Like it's so rude.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
paying for it.
I know.
I would say the hair is different. I agree on the food thing though. You don't really want to be the person sending it back.
No, it's not a
Right.
good look.
That's worse. Hey, so the Michigan move, right? It's called the Michigan, even though Mike Legg did it. He gets nothing out of it. I feel like you should be the one to get Kirill to do the Michigan in a game. I know he's done it before in like international stuff, but that could be like a nice connection. Maybe talk about the Michigan with him, and we need to add that. It hasn't happened for this squad. You think he could pull off the Michigan, or maybe you do the Michigan?
Yeah, if I can get down there around the net in the offensive zone, I'll be looking for it. I'm always looking for it. Just a matter of opportunity.
So you're ready.
I'm
You're
ready.
If you
yes.
can get down there, okay,
Yeah.
that's good to know. Something to look forward to, kids. At home.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Do you eat Little Caesars pizza now because you played on the team, or you're not biased to the pizza?
I definitely still eat it. It was one of the main food groups as a kid. Was
And you
Little
get a
Caesars.
quantity, right? Especially with the 4 girls, you can like feed a whole family.
Yeah, $10, $20. You got pizza for everyone.
That's good.
Yeah.
This is hard hitting stuff.
Dude, go the pizza at Detroit, the Little Caesars pizza is good though. It's like a combo deep dish. It's
Oh,
good.
yeah, they have that Detroit style where they
Yeah.
put the sauce
It's a
on
combo
top
deep
or
crust.
whatever
It's a
like
little
that.
thick.
Really
yeah.
good pizza. So when did you lose the teeth?
I lost this tooth,
The top one?
the top one, sometime in Vegas, and it was like a couple days before training camp started. You're doing those like captains practices or whatever, and we were doing a flow drill, and I shot it on net, and I went to like swoop into the corner, and I'm kind of watching my shot because it like hit his shoulder, and it was kind of like trickling into the net. And I was maybe even doing a little celly, like going in the corner, and the goalie like batted the puck with his paddle, and I'm watching it, and he batted it, and it came right into my mouth, knocked my tooth right out. And it's 2 days before training camp, so I come in, and the trainer's like, I'm leaking everywhere, and he's like, oh yeah, that's tough, but when you get all cleaned up, you know this is not workers' comp. This is not on your insurance, like
Oh no.
because it's not
hadn't
mandatory
started.
practice or anything. This is still like an optional skate. So like
That makes you feel good.
yeah. And for some reason, like maybe the girls or Jess had gotten dental work done. So we had like reached our maximum amount of dollars spent in our insurance or something for that year. So they're like, oh, you'd have to pay out of pocket if you want to get it fixed right now. And for some reason, I was like, nah, I'm good with it. And then it just like, then I didn't have a tooth for a while. Then all my teeth started to like cave in. And now there's not even room to like put one in. If I wanted to, I'd have to get like spacers and
Yeah.
So-
If Costco had teeth, you'd have all of them.
for sure I would. Yeah.
Dude, that's funny. That's what got me was friendly fire too. Mine was Niederreiter off the post a couple times, but so I bet we could go through the headshots and see the one where you're missing the tooth.
And you can see my lip is all swollen
Yeah.
and stuff for the training camp.
Oh, I'll
headshot.
find that. This
Yeah.
is good. This is good radio. You guys keep talking.
Then how about the lower one?
That was
I know which one you're talking about.
It's a couple of weeks ago in New York.
Yo, okay,
Yeah.
just high stick.
Yeah. High stick.
It's
Did you
right
have to
here,
get
right?
zips?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, look at that. You can see the dent.
So,
Another reason to go check out Hockey DB, click on Jonny the Vibe Merrill and go through it.
Yeah, another reason not to practice until training camp starts. We should go back to the old school days where training camp was to get into shape. You didn't have to show up in shape. That would solve all those problems, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think that I'm playing in the wrong era, minus the 10 fights a game and all that stuff. But for the training camp perspective, that would be awesome.
Hey, what did you were in Vegas and you went on the kind of the wild ride with them. And are you, reggae, kind of outback, like, are you a Vegas guy? Like, how did you like Vegas?
It ended up being a pretty great place to like raise a family. Like in the
Yep.
suburbs, it's really chill. But I had never been there before I was taken in the expansion draft, so I had no idea what to expect. And I'm not super big on the strip. I'm not a heavy gambler, and I feel like the clubs and the pool parties and all that are kind of a money grab, if anything. So
Yeah. But you like it. Do you golf?
I do golf. Yeah,
Yeah, so they got a nice setup out there. It's almost like you're in Arizona once you get off the strip, right?
very similar. A lot of stuff to do outdoors and hiking in the national parks, the state parks and stuff. And you're only 45 minutes from the Grand Canyon. They got can't remember the Mount Charleston. Maybe you can get the snow in like an hour, and it's kind of cool. There's a lot of stuff to do out there.
What is the Merrill like? I'm trying to picture this. Like, do you have like a rooftop carrier? Are you guys going to national parks? Are you going on hikes? What is the vibe? If you're Jonny the Vibe, what kind of activities does the family do on the weekend and such?
Yeah, definitely trying to get outdoors, and when we were there, go on hikes and stuff like that. I think we haven't. We find the baby's getting a little bit older, where we might be able to get a full family camping trip in this summer for the first time. But definitely a lot of hikes. A lot of here in Minnesota, we go to the lake and chill at the beach, and trying to get the girls into fishing a little bit.
Nice.
Trying to get them outdoors, and
I could picture you like cross country skiing too.
it might be something I'm into
Yeah,
later in life.
I think I'd like to go with you if you ever get into it. Let
for
me know.
sure.
What's the golf swing like? I'm picturing Fred Couples. Just
Oh yeah, why don't you talk? If you talk about your basketball game, tell us about your golf game.
Am I comparable in golf?
Yeah,
shoes untied.
Yeah, barefoot, of course. No. Left-handed.
Oh, lefty.
Yeah,
Okay,
lefty. Yeah, like a long, slow swing.
nice. Yeah, Freddie Couples.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
smooth.
Pretty, yeah,
From
pretty
top to
good.
bottom, smooth.
Ernie Els, maybe.
Yeah.
Left-handed though.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
So, Vegas, good skate parks there. I hear you like to skateboard.
I skateboard a little bit more, just cruising around now. I'm not hitting.
Oh, so you're like a longboard guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. Like you go to the beach, let's hit the boardwalk and just cruise down the boardwalk kind of.
Put the headphones in, find some nice like hills in the neighborhood, and just cruise around.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Marc-Andre Fleury in Vegas. Did he pull any pranks on you?
No, he knows better.
Oh, he knows better.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because you'd be able to sniff that out.
hmm
All right, nice. What are some of the all times that any stand out in your eyes that
That
he
he's
pulled?
done.
You see the one.
well, he hasn't
recently?
actually done any, John.
Yeah.
He's that we know.
sticks with-
Allegedly.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
Will not admit, but he got that Nick Holden this year with the red and green shoes. You see that one?
That was pretty good. Yeah,
was good.
That was good. I saw Holdy in his tennis shoes walking out after. So funny.
They had more on that trip too, so we had to finish the trip in tennis shoes.
Yeah, yeah. That's funny. I can't think of any other like. Nothing stands out in my head that he did there or allegedly did there.
Hey, who are some of the other? You're obviously a vibe, and you've been true to form today. But who are? I mean, I picture Middleton with that fanny pack, and there's all of the world's problems get stuffed in there, and he zips it up. Like, who are the other guys? If you're just kind of spacing out in the locker room, and you know someone's on your wavelength, who are some of the beauties in the room?
You got to throw Addy in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, Addy's
yeah. He looks a
chilling.
little spacey,
Yeah,
right?
he's chilling, man. He's just hanging out.
Counting assists. He's like, I got
That's what you
22
want on the
assists.
power play, though, isn't it? Like a guy back there that's
Yeah.
not concerned about it.
Low pulse.
Ice in his veins, man. He's chilling back there. You know what I mean? It looks like a situation. Everyone's like, "Oh, he's coming." He's just chilling, like
Yeah.
throwing sauce, like
Tying the cherry stem.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's good to know. Addison is a vibe as well.
Seems like he also is one of those guys that can just like turn the page, like mistake, whatever, no big deal, turn the page. Like like he doesn't hold on to stuff very long.
Really cool perspective on things. Like he's
He's zen.
Yeah, very much so.
I like that. I didn't know that. What about Middleton? What's Midzi like? I heard. I mean, he's got skate problems all the time. We heard. We'll have to ask him about that. A lot of whining we heard on the bench.
Like tying his skates.
Yeah, there's always an issue.
I was kind of like, seems like the opposite of what we would expect from that guy, but I guess he's a little technical.
I can't speak for him, but I think that what I've observed is like the skate issues is just a way to like occupy his mind. Like his mind is really busy during the game, so he just like goes to his skates,
like just
focused on
stay-
that
yeah.
only. You know what I mean? Like he just constantly needs to like keep busy, sort of moving.
These
around.
laces are short.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good.
What's it like on the D side? Like it's so foreign to me, like whatever you guys do down there, plus you're playing all the time. There's only 3 sets of you, so like you're go kind of like, do you chat? Do you have good conversations? Like what's it like back there?
Very positive, very encouraging of each other, and like we love like a nice sauce pass. You'll hear from all the boys back there going nuts. Like boys are on the sauce, like like little one-liners and stuff. It's always fun. Like yeah, and Woodsy's great back there too. He keeps it light. He's always having a good time too.
So who calls who's up? Do you guys just know, or does Woodsy call like, hey, so and so's up, or
Yeah, Woodsy calls.
yeah, like up front, it's always the head coach usually calling who's up. So I have no clue what goes on the D side of the bench, but you guys know your rotation or who you're going to match up against.
For the most part, yeah, you have a pretty good idea of probably who's going next, but he still makes the final call.
What's Spurge like on the bench?
He's a lot of chatter, a lot of positivity, encouraging the boys, but he's got to crack his whip sometimes and poke his head down and yell at the forwards, hit the puck out of the zone or get
forwards
it
going.
Yeah, never would get on a fellow D man though, never.
And then so now you always have the goalie. At least at home, you have the goalie park next to you guys, right?
Yeah, 2 of the periods.
Yeah. So what's that like? You got Flower sitting on the bench. Like, how is that? Normal?
Yeah, super normal. He's Flower's great. He's watching the jumbotron, having a good time. He keeps it light too. It's fun.
You never have to get Tony DaCosta to be quiet, because I feel like Tony and the backup goaltenders just kind of go back and forth the whole game. But maybe he minds his P's and Q's and keeps his volume down. I'm not sure. But...
Yeah, I don't hear too much of tone back there. No,
good.
Goalie in a baseball cap's kind of a vibe too. Like when they're off duty, that's when you're staring at the jumbotron. That's a good gig.
Yeah.
We tried to get Flower to admit that it's awesome, but he's they always, I want to be playing and all that, but it's a pretty good gig, I think. The baseball cap goalie.
Owning the auxiliary cord. Sorry, you got something?
Well, I just missed the towel around the neck too,
Yeah.
right? Like remember the guys used to tuck it into the
Yeah.
protector and just like almost like
Get cozy.
a pillow for themselves.
Like the
Janacek.
Yeah.
like the airplane pillow, kind of just
Yeah.
rest the head.
Just chilling there.
Yeah. So I forgot where I was going with that one, but-
Oxcord.
Oh yeah, the Oxcord is it's a big honor to have. Have you ever had the opportunity to run the auxiliary cord, the music in the locker room?
Not really like a game day guy. I mean, the type of music I'm into isn't really like hype, like let's get going for the game. I do like more of like a morning practice. I'll get on the sticks a little bit and play some stuff, or maybe a day after a loss, the boys need some Bob Marley to make sure everyone's
Chill out.
feeling all right,
I like it. Fantastic. You got anything else, John? Or
I just want to hang out with them, but I guess for the podcast, probably not. I'm feeling pretty good.
right on, my man. Well, hey, John, this was awesome. Thanks for stopping by, my man. You're the best. Good to see you. Good luck. And yeah, dude, appreciate it.
Johnny the Vibe.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
Well, there you have it, Johnny the Vibe. What an absolute treat to have here. I just
Easily the hardest I've ever laughed on the podcast.
I love how real the dude is too. Like goes shopping at Costco, go-to meal is Outback, Blooming Onion. Like everything about the guy is awesome.
But there's like a little Will Ferrell, a little Chevy Chase, young Chevy Chase in there. Like that when he started breaking down his basketball game and he's pulling like, didn't Bill Russell just die like yesterday? He's like pulling Bill Russell out of the grave. You know, I can shoot both ways. I'm a winner above. I mean, that run he did about his basketball hidden talent was just, I almost couldn't go on. And he's like a chill dude.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I was doing one of my first games as an analyst between the benches, and it was the Wild versus Vegas. And what period would that be? It'd be the second period. Their D is next to me between the benches, and he just sticks his head around the corner. And I probably hadn't talked to him since I played with him in Jersey. And he looks around and he goes, "Hey, man, you remember me?" And I was like, yeah, of course I remember you. Do you how do you remember me?
We were teammates.
Yeah. But we were like having a chat right there in the middle of a game. I was nervous as all get out just because like it was a new like situation for me, like audio, headphones on, player reaching around to talk to me from the opposite team. I'm like, what's going on? And he's just like, you good, man? Yeah, good. Things are good. I think at that time he had like 2 girls. But yeah, just a great dude. Good story too. Like, hey, you remember me? Of course I remember you.
He's so he's like a hacky sack guy, right? Like
Yeah, for sure.
even the way he talks, like
Hogs.
you're asking him about, do you go to skate parks? And he's like, no, man, I ride, but I'm not like
Headphones.
I'm not creeping into the parks much, because what? What are we talking about? Yeah, he is so good. He that's good for a locker room, is all I can say. To go back to our earlier conversation, we got Bally's is running heart attack commercials. I'm having a heart attack anyway. We're trying to make the playoffs. Every point counts. Shootouts. And then you got this guy. He doesn't know what day of the week it is, man. You need a couple of those guys in the room.
Yeah, you do need a couple of guys in the room like that. And if you do have anxiety about any of that stuff, one thing that helps a lot is good quality sleep.
Actually, you're right. And sometimes when you're restless, you could be one of the 30 million people suffering from sleep apnea cards. And the thing is, only about 5 million of those people know it. And so there's basically zombies walking around, low energy, hurting their relationships, bad for their health. I'm guessing one of the reasons you wouldn't have looked into this is because you think it would be difficult, right?
Right. The barriers of entry to get treatment would be difficult for me.
Not so fast. When it comes to Gem Sleep, that is not the case. They're basically a concierge. They'll come to you. It's an easy process. There's no buildup. They get you sorted right away. And before you know it, you're feeling better. You're out of that restless game. You're not tired anymore. Gem Sleep, Minnesota company. Check them out, please, at mygemsleep.com/wild.
Woo, wild. Speaking of wild, we've got a partner, Wild Construction. And we say this all the time. No, the Minnesota Wild aren't into building things. They're building what we think is a Stanley Cup champion at some point. But if you've had ice dams on your house right now, which I drive around and I see them all over the place, that could be an issue. You could have bad insulation. You maybe need to get that fixed because eventually that will lead to problems in your house. Wild Construction does roofing, insulation, siding, windows. Any of that stuff that you need help with, check these guys out. WildConstructionMN.com. The owners have over 25 years of combined experience in the industry. Just like Gem Sleep, locally owned, locally serviced, great guys. Wild Construction will make it happen. Boom. Check them out. Good dudes. You need that stuff.
I'm going to issue a formal apology. This is a unique situation, though, because I'm going to apologize to Jonas Brodin, but I never ever said anything bad about him. But in my head, I was thinking he was not having as good a year as he normally has. And then he was gone for a couple days.
Yeah.
And it was horrible. And then he came back, and I was like, oh, so he passes the puck all the way down the ice to open forwards. Oh, he makes his D partner better. Oh, we're winning again. Yeah, Jonas Brodin. It turns out he's still pretty good.
Yeah, that's like Valentine's Day, kind of a little bit.
He's like
you don't know what you've got till it's gone.
I know, and I never said anything.
You have all this stuff taken care of.
I never did him dirty. I was just like, is he that good? And he, as it turns out, folks, he is. So it was so nice to see Jonas Brodin running around.
You don't know what you've got till it's gone. It's like the wife goes out of town for the weekend with the ladies, and then you realize that you're doing all the laundry. You're taking the kids everywhere, going to the grocery store.
I usually go to White Castle.
All of a sudden, you're like, oh my goodness, she does everything. But that's Jonas Brodin kind of to a T. He'd be our Valentine today, does everything for us, but really doesn't get a lot of credit for it. No, I mean, he's great. One-man breakout and skating, defending. I think you could almost say, like, if he's out,
it's a big problem.
Yeah, they might miss him more than any other individual player.
Well, because I was, all those games where he was gone, it was just a handful of games, but they were constantly behind our D, 2-on-1s. Even Fleury played in some of those games, and it really wasn't his fault. I mean, it was just like horrible situations in the D zone. And then, the only variable, he comes back and we settle down. So I just think he is we knew that. We knew he was a critical piece, but I think this year, with as tight as everything's been, you didn't really have as much of a Jonas Brodin appreciation society as we probably should have.
Well, getting him back in the lineup was obviously huge. That in hindsight, like they thought that maybe that could have been a longer term injury.
Let's not have that be the case.
Right. That'd be a scary proposition. But I actually think Mason Shaw has been a nice shot in the arm too, where that line, that fourth line, all of a sudden the team just plays faster with him in the lineup.
Yeah,
There's
he's
more
in
pressure.
fast motion.
They're up the ice. Like he kills penalties. You saw Dewar get 2 more shorthanded chances, get a shorthanded breakaway in the Florida game. He quietly makes plays, but he also just forces the team to play a little bit faster, and he puts the opposition on their heels just a little bit more. Like he's a guy that I think that it was very noticeable that he changes the way the entire team plays. That's a pretty big compliment and a pretty big statement, but it was different. And when I was looking at that Florida game, that's what they're missing. You know, they've got some high end skill, but they just have some guys that aren't as fast as they used to be, right? Or they've maybe lost a half a step here and there, and you got all this talent. That's why, in my opinion, Florida's underperformed. They just don't have the pace in their game.
Yep.
So you get a guy like Mason Shaw he's not like your leader. He's not a guy that you lean on heavily to score for you or do anything, but he helps provide an identity and an identity of speed and pace.
And don't kid yourself. Those are the guys in the playoffs, right? It's the Duhaimes, the Dewars, the Shaws that are going to score those big goals when you need them in a tight series. And that depth, like you said, that pace and that youth, it's huge. And we really do have it. I mean, they've done a nice job through Iowa, and those guys kind of carried us for a section of the season. They haven't been scoring as much lately, but they've certainly been contributing. What are you looking ahead? You know, this Colorado game looms on the schedule. I stream Bally's, as I mentioned, and they're running a mental health promo that night with PJ Fleck. So it's the Colorado game mental health promo, heart attack ads constantly. So I'm preparing. That's a big game. Dallas is a big game as well, kind of a built-in rival. What do you expect as you look ahead here, Karts?
Well, it's less look at who you're playing, more
play your own game.
Yep. Keep playing and being who you are. That's what the Wild need to do right now.
What is that? What are we?
Well, it's a physical team that grinds, and they can't open it up. They have to defend well. They need good goaltending, and it's good that we're going to bury this in the back of the podcast because Dean and I think his comments are accurate, and it's a good statement. Like, listen, I'm not talking about not scoring anymore because the more we talk about it, the more it becomes real. There's NHL players in here that can score and they will score. So I'm done talking about it. Love that stance.
Yep.
But with that said, that's what they need to focus on is somehow scoring. Hartman scores in the snot bubble, as you like to say. And that's one where I think you look at it and you say, okay, this is where we're going to do it. So getting the D more involved and shooting more pucks. I think
Middleton last night.
That one got through.
I thought that was going to happen for him. I thought he was about to be on this sheet of the moments of the year
and
when
it's
drove
common.
in.
Like it's common. The Vegas game, they had 2 tips. They both found the 5-hole on Fleury, and that ends up being one of the differences in the game. If the Wild stick with it should come, and they should get off the scoring schneid, so to speak. But
how do you manage the goaltenders? What do you? Because
you're in win now mode. I think
you just ride Gus until we pop a tire.
Yep, exactly. You have more cushion. I think that you can be cute about it. I think right now it's desperation. So you play the guy that's playing better, and you don't worry about workload. That's the situation they're in. Correct me.
You think that is what will happen?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I think they're going to play the person that gives them the best chance to win that night, and on any given night, that is possible that it changes. But right now, it seems to be Gustafsson. I mean, he looks the part. The numbers are there. He's given his team a chance to win, even in really tight games against opposition out east that can score. So, yeah, I think you absolutely have to ride him. Wouldn't be surprised if he's in the net against Colorado, and then see what happens after that. If I'm in Fleury's camp, I think the schedule is hard for him. He's a goaltender that likes to work. I believe he likes volume, so he wants
for sure. He was out
wants
there
practice.
today. Yeah.
He wants a lot of shots. He needs repetitions to be on the top of his game. He's not one of those goaltenders that can take the day off, quick morning skate, be ready to go. Like he wants more
This is
work.
Fleury
than
you're
that.
talking about.
Fleury, yeah. So
that
the
gets
schedule
harder.
doesn't lend itself to that. It's game every other day, day off. Like they're trying to prioritize rest. So he's not getting full reps in that spot. So he's going to have to probably work one-on-one, come up for these optional practices and find his game that way. But and that's not me saying that he's played bad. He didn't play bad in the Dallas game.
He got hung out to dry.
Oh yeah, in the Vegas game, got hung out. Like what are you going to do? But Gustafson's playing well right now, so you got to ride him.
I just don't want what we had last year. I don't want these
If
dueling.
you have two, you really don't have one.
No, I don't want that. Just let us. We got enough things we worry about on our own as Minnesota sports fans. Just tell us who
Again,
the goalie is.
It's different though. I think everybody knew and it was comfortable the Wild were making the playoffs last year in a good spot, second in the West.
Now you're just
This
saying
year's
it's
different.
simple. Whoever, if a guy's rolling, we don't change it. When he stops rolling, we got two good goalies. We'll put the other guy in.
I think you take overthinking out of the equation right now.
like
You just
this.
go play, and that's where they're at.
Helping
They've got to
me.
win every game.
I'm enjoying your honey as well. I wanted you to know.
It's a sweet little treat.
Every morning I start with Carter's honey. He's got
Wait,
this.
whoa, settle down here.
Yeah, I
You're
know.
gonna have to drop the gloves.
I like to say
It's Valentine's
I
Day.
like to
She's
say-
my Valentine.
I like to say I wake up every morning with Carter's honey. I left you a message with that this morning, but it is pretty good. I think we should incorporate that into the show. You have how many jars of it?
I've got a lot, up to 200.
And you don't sell it.
I don't sell it.
So could we do something where
You
if
can give a honey giveaway.
somebody sends in a question and it says, "Hey, honey," and they ask a question, if we pick one of those questions on the Twitter, I guess, or wherever the socials are for Wild on 7th, if we use one of your questions, we'll give you a jar of Carter's honey. You
Cool.
okay with that?
I'm cool with that.
All right. That's some genuine fan interaction. If you're listening right now at the very end of this podcast, you're a true fan. So you'll try it
Yeah,
because we're here.
till it's here.
Peace.